It's Backstage Pass with Steve Ryan. And here's your host, Steve Ryan.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey.
I got both of you.
Indeed.
Sweet.
How
How you doing, mate?
Good. How are you guys?
Not bad.
We just
Where
got back from the Netherlands this morning.
where are you now, Tyler?
We're both just outside of Birmingham in our homes.
Hey, thanks for giving me some time. I got sent some information on this new album, Voices Unheard. That's a cover right there. It's great.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
man,
We
I've
got
been
two.
yeah. Oh, it's a vinyl.
Yes.
Oh man, I love
Yeah.
vinyl so much.
We do too. We're really excited about it, man.
I spent some time listening to the tracks that have been released so far. And man, I don't know. I love what you guys do so much. And I think that musically, I think that people are really thirsty for what you guys are doing because there's not enough of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Then there's some bands out there, that we get compared to or that we're in the same category of. So there's the Greta Van Fleet, the
Yeah.
Band Feel, Dirty Honey, the Black Crows as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're new, but they're and the Black Keys as well. So we have that kind of vibe.
Yeah, but there's something still fresh about what you guys are doing, and I really appreciate it. I dug into your catalog a little bit, but I wanted to talk about the new stuff real quick, if that's okay. I
Mhm.
was listening to Down Below, and you know what I love about that song? It caught me immediately, and it kind of reminded me of Western Americana, kind of with that harmonica at the beginning. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
And then it
Yeah,
just
man.
kicks into some good old fashioned rock and roll. Tell me about this project and kind of the band, because I had not heard of you guys, and I don't know very many. I don't know what's happening in America, but I hope you guys just explode. But tell me about the band a little bit in the background and how you guys got what where you are and your sound and just everything.
It kind of the band started from me and Tyler meeting at an open mic night, and I convinced after him coming down to the open mic night a couple of times, I convinced him to leave his sixth form, which is like something you do after high school, to come join my college. That I was studying music and music tech because he was studying science and maths, and I was like, "You're a guitarist, you don't need that." And so and Ed and Ricky, our bass player and drummer, they were already there at this college as well. I didn't really speak to them that much, but I knew they were there and I knew they could play. And so I was like, okay, that's cool. So when Tyler kind of came around, we started the band and we had a different bass player in, but Ed's always been the drummer. And yeah, we did the pub circuit, the club circuit, and then our old bass player left. We got Ricky in to play, but he's originally a guitarist. So we're like, oh yeah, this is role for a bass player. And he was like, well, I played bass a couple times. And we were like, me and Ed were like, yeah, we've seen you play bass. You're better that on bass than you are guitar. And so Ricky joined in. He also knew how to play some chords on piano. So we got him on organ and mandolin now as well. He's our multi-instrumentalist. And yeah, we just wrote and wrote and wrote until we had songs coming out of our ears. And we've got like plus 60 tracks now, or like it's
Wow.
probably 60 mark of just unreleased music and demos. And we're just like, okay, cool. Let's record an album before we start carrying on. And we recorded the album, and here we are.
Wow. Who are your musical influences? Kind of when you got an AC/DC shirt on, but where do you where who turns you on? What was the vibe, especially as you were deciding what kind of music you liked growing up, and then even now, who are you listening to?
I mean, I'm always out searching for new music and new artists. Not even new artists, but music which I haven't heard before, but is old. But the people that I've been playing since I was about 10 years of age have always been Bob Dylan, John Denver, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young,
Really?
Cream, Eric, like anything to do with Eric Clapton, George Harrison solo stuff. So those are kind of the vibes that I went for. And well, Ed, our drummer, he's into jazz, and big bands and kind of disco beats. Ricky, our bass player, is into jazz as well, but more reggae and Motown. And Tyler's into like the big guitar gods of the 80s and like more riff based. So we didn't really think any of these genres would combine. We were like, well, let's just play and see what happens. And what happened was the sound that we produce on this album, and we've been playing for ages. And so there was no particular sound we were aiming for. It's just what naturally came out. And from being a folk country kind of guy, and John Denver's got a high range, but to me, he was the highest range. Like I was like, oh, then I wouldn't really get there. But kind of competing over the frequencies and the loudness of the amps and the drums, I have to sing high. So I started looking at people like Tina Turner and Aretha Franklin, loads of like soulful blues, black eyes, and especially women as well. And they were just so inspirational to me. And I was just like, wow. And to get somewhere like that, I'm quite impressed.
Yeah. I would have never guessed John Denver. I love John Denver.
Who doesn't? Who
I think
doesn't?
he's so great. Hey, I just a couple of weeks ago I had on the singer from Kula Shaker,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
your background and the way you guys dress kind of reminds me of his vibe too.
Cool, cool.
Yeah. Hey, I was listening to Need Your Love.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Great tune. I jumped on YouTube and I watched the video. Did you know it's got over 1 million views?
Yes.
Yes, it's pretty unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, only within a few weeks, like we Down Below did well, but then we weren't expecting Need Your Love to do that well. So yeah, it's pretty incredible.
What do you think it is about that track that people are just, I mean, because obviously when you get that many views, people are talking about it, right? I mean, it's not just people accidentally came across your song. I mean, they either searched for it or somebody told them about it and they went and found it. So what do you think it is about that track that just kind of exploded?
I think when we were writing it, we didn't have any lyrics. It was just like the vibe of the guitar, and Tyler came up with the guitar riff, and we were just jamming it out and demoing it without any vocal. And I was just like, this is so like cock rocky. And then, like, that's such a phrase I hate, cock rock. It's just like, because it's not what rock music should be about. But I'm just like, oh, this is like Aerosmith.
Hmm.
Bit of G and R in there. I'm just like, oh, there's something about it that's like pulling me into like more of a primal kind of thing. And essentially, the lyrics are about a one night stand, that primal urge that we all have as humans to kind of have someone there and then. And I think everyone can kind of resonate with that. Not even just for a one night stand, but maybe seeing your future partner or your future wife or anything like that, and you having those same kind of feelings. So I think that's what kind of drive people or kind of get people is like the lyrics are quite easy to understand, and there's no like hidden meaning. It's literally at face value, and the riff is really cool as well.
Come on! Hey baby, baby, I see you move, shaking those hips to the groove. They all swarm you 'cause you got good taste. 'Cause loving you can't be replaced. As you strut on in with your deadly square, I just can't resist. You got me chasing you for one last kiss. I need your love tonight, wrapped around me so tight. Yeah.
It's fun to play, and it's just bouncy. The drums groove, the bass grooves together. Like, yeah, it's just pure rock and roll.
Yeah. The full album comes out later this week.
It
And
does.
what are you anticipating? I mean, it seems to be a lot of buzz, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're hoping it does well, and like people, it's just well received. I think that's the only thing we're really looking for is because we get compared to bands and a certain band as well from the late 60s, early 70s, and we get cool, they're just
Are you
like,
talking
oh,
about Led Zeppelin? You can say it.
Yeah. So Led Zeppelin, they're like, oh yeah, these guys rip off
Yeah,
Zeppelin, and
who
it's
who
just like,
who was that band?
yeah, exactly. That's what I say. And I'm like, if you actually listen to the album, which they can't at this point in time because it's not out, it's just like when you listen to the album, hopefully these other influences that we have individually will pop through, like Bittersweet. When that comes out, I think it's gonna shock a lot of people because they're like, hold on, this is completely different. And Hate to See It End is literally just a folk song, like but with a overdriven guitar over top. So I think that's going to surprise some people and kind of make them sit back and think, okay, they have more influences than just Zeppelin,
Yeah.
because we are influenced by them, and like most bands are, the greatest bands of all time will always say Led Zeppelin, like they're just the band, and they're just, we're trying to just recreate what the effect they had, not the sound or what they did, but a bit of what they did, but what they did to people, not how they played the guitar, how Robert would sing, how John Bonham would play, nothing like that. Just we want to bring peace, love, and unity back and make people feel good again. That's all we're trying to bring.
Yeah, I was reading about you guys last night, and I saw a number of different articles that talked about the Led Zeppelin influences or the sound. And I mean, I actually heard it after I read that. Then it's like, okay, I see that. But to me, when I was listening to your stuff, I mean, I was thinking 80s rock. I mean, it was just like, Poison and all that fun rock back from the 80s. That's the vibe I was getting when it was fun rock. It's like kind of pop rock. I loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
think.
more like up my alley kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think when we released these singles of Need Your Love Down Below, it was just the easier songs for people to get and resonate with. And like, yeah, as you say, poppy, they are poppy.
Mm.
And because, we are a band who like to talk about the 70s and the 60s and what happening at that time, but we are subconsciously involved and inspired by pop music because it's what you grow up on,
Yeah.
and it's everywhere. Like it's with the kids in our year at school and in our classes, they were listening to it, and it's subconsciously synced into our heads, I think. And I mean, I like 80s dance music. I think that's quite cool. And some of the poppiest stuff is really like Blondie, massive Blondie fan. Not people
Yeah.
get that, but massive Blondie fan. And so yeah, and Donna Summer. Who doesn't like Donna Summer?
Can we talk about that? I found a song called Riverboat Queen.
Yeah.
And that to me goes back to what you were just talking about, James, a minute ago with the 60 to 70s feel, because that's the feel that I got more of that song than the newer songs. The newer songs to me, I just got this 80s vibe, but the Riverboat Queen kind of it had that 60s, 70s feel, and the video too.
Yeah.
I mean, the clothes you guys are wearing, is that what when you go out, is that what you wear?
No, I wish we did. These vintage clothes are expensive.
Yeah, they are.
Can't be doing.
Sometimes
Can't
we
be,
have a dress up.
yeah, you never know. But yeah, I mean, it's the look of what was happening back in the 60s and 70s, all the color and all the sequins, the patterns, and
Mhm.
kind of the flamboyanciness, and especially with David Bowie and Elton John, and as they were crossing boundaries of women's clothes and kind of creating that thing. I'd like clothes don't defy gender in a sense, and that's what stuck with me. And I was just like, okay, yeah, clothes don't defy gender, but you can just however you want to express yourself. So I know I look better in women's jeans than I do men's jeans. So that's what I'm gonna wear.
Yeah.
I've got the bum for it. I've got the arse. So I just wear women's jeans.
Everyone says it.
Everyone says it.
Yeah.
Fighting from a board now, baby. And I choose to swear. Well, I'm about the Riverboat Queen. Show me the flying life and all things in between. Well, I'm about the Riverboat Queen. Show me the flying life that I can only dream of.
Do you guys live close together or no? Close by each other?
Not
Close,
too
close-
far.
yeah, not too about a 40-minute drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our like rehearsal space slash studio where we make all of our demos, write, rehearse is like right in the middle of that for all of us, all four of us. So it's this, it's a nice space where we get together multiple times a week, and sometimes we just go there to rehearse, and then someone will come up with an idea, and it's like, right, instead of rehearsing, scrap the rehearsal, we'll write a song.
Do this.
But that's what I wanted to ask you about your recording process because recording music now isn't the same as it used to be, and there's a lot of people who have in-home studios, and when COVID was on, people were recording at home and then they were sending them
Yeah.
all, and somebody edited it all together, and it didn't have that live all together kind of collaboration feel to it. It just kind of felt, to me, a lot of that stuff felt kind of sterile. So do you guys actually go in the studio and you cut your tracks and you're all together? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and
and
it's something that was very important to us, the whole experience. Because like in our own studio now, we do we do that with demos. Back when we did the EP, we didn't have the facilities to, and those songs sound good, but it was overdubbed, and we're a live band. We when we write as a band. Like the riffs, especially like in a room, is where the song kind of comes alive before like the lyrics come onto it. So yeah, for the album, we wanted to go somewhere where we could all track live together. Even for tracks like, for example, Need Your Love, James doesn't play the guitar live on stage. However, we wanted that. It goes back to like the AC/DC mentality of you've got the live band playing, you got guitar left and right. So James actually went and learnt some of the guitar parts and created some new parts. So that main rhythm track that you're hearing is one take, it's a performance in a room. And yeah, we just think that it's part of the sound. You can create a good result doing it overdubbed, but it's the mentality. And we went to the studio, it's called Vader Studios with our producer George Perks. We had a fantastic time, and we actually stayed there for the whole 2 weeks as well, which is again like a kind of old school way of doing it. And it was for that mindset. You go in there for a couple of weeks, you're going to record, but you're also going to hang out. And yeah, it's like a mental state, and that's very important to us.
Do you guys record live all at once, or do you set drum track and then the guitar tracks and then the overdubs and then the vocals, or do you do it live, or maybe a little both?
A
it's
little both.
yeah, a little bit of both, but mainly the main drums, bass, guitars are all done in the room together. So me and Tyler will both lay down a rhythm track instead of him doing lead. We'll do the lead overdub later, and then the vocals are like the last thing we do of the day, just so it gives me time to warm up and kind of get used to the song and how it is sitting. And so yeah, and then percussion was overdubbed as well. But yeah, so it's mainly the meat and the potatoes
Mhm.
was live, and
Yeah.
then the seasoning and all that was done later.
I love that. I love it when you listen to a track and it's just live. And I've done almost 100 episodes now, and a lot of times people say it's the live cut that's always comes out the best, because when you go back and you try to perfect it, it never feels right. It never kind of
Mhm.
has that something special. And even if there's a little mistake in there, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the best ideas have come from mistakes for us. Like we've messed up and gone, oh, that's cool, and it goes on the album track.
Yeah.
Mm.
You guys gonna hit the road? What's the plan?
Oh yeah, we
We
just got back from the Netherlands. We got our album launch shows coming up. It's like a small little tour we're doing there. The big stuff for us is kind of starting in the summer. We got 5 dates with Sammy Hagar, which
I
is
love
it's a
Sammy
great
Hagar.
start. Yeah, obviously me being kind of like a 80s rock fan, Van Halen. I know James likes some of the Van Hagar stuff as well.
Is that in
So
America?
that's a great. No, it's just in the UK. So
Okay.
there's date in Manchester, date in Wolverhampton, and 3 dates in London. And then to end the year off, this is around September to November, we got a 36 date tour with Deep Purple across Europe. And that's like
Wow.
the yeah, that's the
it's
the
the
big
be all
one.
and end all.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. That's so great, you guys. Hey, I know we're coming up on the clock, and what I promised I would keep you guys, and I know it's evening over there, but I just wanted to tell you about. I was kind of deep diving into the catalog, and I ran into across the A Piece of Our Time LP. And
Yeah.
there's a couple of tunes on there that I just wanted to ask you about. There's the song on there called "Take Me Home," which I really love the groove to that song. I know it's a little bit older, but you know, you guys kind of have kept it. When you hear it, I know it's you guys. Now that I know you, and I've listened to the new stuff, I heard this like, yeah. But was that when you guys were just kind of cutting your teeth and figuring yourselves out, or what? Tell me about the process on that early album.
I think yeah, it was definitely us cutting our teeth and figuring out who we were. Because like listening back to me vocally, I sound completely different, and I wouldn't put those two together. I wouldn't be like, okay, yeah. And we thought about remastering it, but we're just like, it doesn't sound like me. There's no point. And so we're just leaving it as a piece in our time, if you will. But yeah, take me home was fun. I'll meet you there. We kind of that's where like the folk. I was introducing the folk element with the acoustic guitar based stuff, and take me home is country in a way. Obviously, the inspiration of John Denver's "Take Me Home, Country Roads," and I was just like, I've got to show I've got to put my heart on my sleeve for this song, and yeah, "Take Me Home" was about going to a festival or going to a gig with your mates, having a good time, having a drink, and what happens after the festival or the gig and how you feel, and it was for the audience as well. But yeah,
Our festival song.
Yeah, our festival song. It's definitely it's that EP was so fun, and we did a vlog for that EP, and that's on YouTube, so you can watch that on YouTube. Us like goofing about in the studio, and yeah, it's an interesting little piece of work.
I really was digging it. And I'm glad you mentioned "I'll Meet You There," because I put it in my notes, and I love the cool mellowness of that song, and it's just kind of got this classic rock ballad 80s feel to it that you just don't hear it enough anymore, I think. And I really appreciate what you guys did with that tune.
Cheers, thank you.
Great, thank you. Glad you like it.
We danced all night under the stars. We looked at the sea. We traveled the world. We saw it all. We watched the mountains fall. We'll never give up and we'll never back down to see the world as it was meant to be. I'll meet you there when the sun burns bright. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there when the moon flies high. I'll meet you
Guys, I'm so happy about this new album. I'm so excited to see what happens with it. I hope that you guys at some point get over here to the States. I would love to see you guys do something live. Myself, I've some of your videos I've watched. I can't imagine that a live show is it's got to be fantastic to watch you guys up on stage. So I hope we get to do that someday. But I wish you nothing but success with this project, and I hope maybe as things progress, maybe we'll do a follow up and get new stuff or a tour. You're coming to the States. Let's talk again and make sure we get the word out.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah.
All right, you guys. Thanks again. Thanks. Have a great evening, and I'll talk to you again. Okay.
Cheers. Thanks for having us.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
For questions or comments, email Steve at steveryan.songoftheday@gmail.com.